there's a lot of people that have horrendous experiences in the process. There's people that DIY it and have bad experiences. It's a kind of a new thing. It's not. But it's still not widely accepted as like as a big thing. We're doing that. We are.
You're talking about barndominiums as a thing.
Barndominiums we are pioneering the way of like, how do you have a national brand that's production barndominiums to get you what you want and eliminate things that hinder the experience. Yep. That's the consolidation effect is, hey, Bob Mary, I hear what you're saying, but let me tell you, like, we're not going to do that because we know that when we do that, it's a poor experience. The return was not worth the investment. This is not what you want. And I want to build better guardrails to protect the client. This isn't just about sustainability as an organization or how we can scale faster or do any of those things. Those things are byproducts of protect the client experience at all costs. If we know that we allow them to do this and it's easy on the front end because they really want it, right? And we're willing to bend over to make it happen, but it leads to a poor experience. Who did it serve? No one.
Well, and this is something like that I'll say even just in the Dunn experience this past week. So Dunn, North Carolina is where one of the Barndo offices are, and I spent 2 days there, just like observing. And not everybody's a good client for us.
That's right.
And if you want extreme custom variables where you want a water slide from your second story to your first story, we're just not the builder for you.
Correct.
And you might say, well, no one else is willing to do it. There's a reason. Like, let us build you a house right within the limitations that we can deliver the experience we want, and then you do whatever you want with it after that.
Yep.
And I think we're in this environment where we're trying to make everybody happy, whether they're a good client for us or not. And I'm going to say this. If you're listening, you're somebody's worst case client. Not just building, whatever it is, buying a car, going to the grocery store. Like, everybody's a bad client for somebody.
That's right.
Like, I have very high standards. If you do not communicate at my level, I am not a good client. You do not want to work with me. If your process and your communication to your customers is not top notch, you're not going to like me as a customer. I know that. So I'm going to pay extra to find the person who has my standards. And like, I'm not looking for the cheapest option. I'm looking for the right option. And as we get more granular, people will fall in love with us that align. And people who want something we don't offer, if we get enough ads, like we built a lower ticket option, right? A more simplified, fits certain budgets. We have that mid semi-custom space. We're going to develop a high luxury custom option.
Yep.
Right? We have to, what we call it, LBOs, luxury Barndo offerings.
Yep.
Because we're like going into Nashville, we're going to need some luxury options. That market's a different market.
100%.
Right? And so LBOs are coming. It's pending name. But like, you're gonna be starting to get calls. But we're looking for the LBO option.
Yeah,
we ain't got that. But like,
you might have to let me sleep on that one for a minute.
TJ just heard that for the first time. But like, building a luxury option, we're gonna give us time to build out that process so that your experience is everything you want it to be. Because we do not sell transactions.
100%.
We're gonna be with you for, at this point right now, an average client journey is 400 to 500 days from start of conversation to moving into your house. And that's onboarding, design, specs, everything, the whole thing. Call it 300 to 400. And we're marrying you. And you're going to see me every day, or you're going to hear from me every day, or I'm going to hear from you every day. And so we in order to do that well, the client experience has to be right for the right person.
Correct.
And I'm super excited about the condensing of that, because that will help us do more. We'll help more people.
Yep.
We'll have more employees. We'll have more awards. We'll have more client success. We'll have more employee success stories. We'll have more people that are excited to be a part of our mission. All that comes true when we condense what we do really well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it comes from experience. We've built as small as 700-800 square foot barns, and sub $200,000, and like, that's not profitable. We couldn't build more of those. We'll go bankrupt. So we as you do, you start setting boundaries, and the more you do, the boundaries kind of skirt in, and it can almost seem limiting. But the reality behind it, again, is client expectation. If I can tell you exactly what to expect and your experience matches that, there is no disappointment. And if I vary outside of the set expectations, the experience is going to vary outside of that outcome as well, and then you're going to have poor experiences. And so I'm excited about it. And the cool thing about it is this: is while we're sitting here talking about like, hey, we're gonna shrink down all these options, do all this stuff. Simultaneously, the vision and things that we're chasing after is a lot of new markets.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of new markets. Like, we sat that, and I was like, woo, because that's vision-oriented. Like, I'm like, yes, sir. You know what I mean? Like, my face is glowing like Moses coming off the mountain. And then I was laying in bed thinking, like, oh, my God. We did these 4 in 3 years, and what we're talking about is crazy.
It's six more in the next 18 months.
And that it's exciting. It's more opportunities for more people in more areas to get a better condensed experience, everything. So, like, even though we're talking about shrinkage, we're also talking about massive expansion.
Yep.
And so those two things are synonymous. Like,
it's doing less at a higher level.
Yep.
Right. So, and if I had to put like your vision, so if I had to put a vision on it, like I ask myself this question a lot: what do I want it to feel like to work in my company? What do I want it to feel like to do business with my company? Because that's all people remember. It's how you made it feel.
100%.
Right. And I've used that question a lot. Like when someone says like, what are my core values? I don't know. Let's start with like, how do you want to feel to work there? That's a culture. That's part of core values, right? And you don't know. And so when I ask that question, how do I want it to feel? Like, I want sales to be excited to talk to production. I want production to be excited to talk to sales because we're on the same page. I want clients excited to show up to projects. I want project managers excited for clients to show up to projects. I want project managers excited when inspectors come by. I want the client excited when they move in. I want them. I don't want them walking and going like, look at all this punch list stuff. Like I want people excited. I want them looking forward. I want them like, I can't wait for that next meeting because every time we get in these meetings, so many good things happen. And that's how do I want to feel? That's the answer, man. And like, we're gonna do that ideally in 10 markets.
Yep.
Ideally, we're there in the next 18 to 24 months. We're at 4 right now. Open up 6 new markets. If we do it right and we do it within the right lane for the right people, we'll triple the amount of builds that we're able to get done.
100%.
And that's what, like, doing more of the right thing.
Yep.
Not pulling back to be hard to do business with, not putting clients in a strict protocol, not giving sales reps the bare bones to go sell with. That's not, when I say pulling back, that's not what I mean.
Nope.
It's aggressively giving people the right options and the right experience so that people are excited to interact, both sales to production, production to sales, and then the entire company to the marketplace and the marketplace to the company.
Yep.
Like when people see that name, I'm like, I want them to just like, I want them to feel lifted. I want them to feel excited. I want them to when they look at the Barndo Co logo, I want them to feel a sense of safety.
Yep.
Both as an employee and a consumer. I'm like, man, that place makes me feel seen, makes me feel heard, makes me feel safe, makes me feel engaged. And like, you can't do that all things to all people. Man,
we're going to the mountain, and I'm excited about it, and it's clear that you are as well. And I'd say the biggest thing is this: if like from a consumer perspective, listening or watching this, we listen, we're committed. When we started this thing, that A was always growing. It was a commitment to more than just opening offices. It's a commitment to constantly trying to become the best and maintain that standard. And so we're always doing this. And I hope when you're hearing this and you see this guy lighting up with all this passion around, fixing processes and making things the best ever, it is happening. It is going to be the best. I felt like we were the best and are the best, and we're talking about getting better. I want to continue raising the bar, and we do want to continue improving how you feel as a client and making you feel seen, heard, understood. Those things are absolutely the forefront of everything that we do as an organization. And this whole intention here is, 1, to make you excited about the future. 2 is to introduce Mike to the world. 3rd thing is, I want clients to feel confident in what's going on here, because we're not just getting bigger for the sake of getting bigger. We're getting better because of the demand to get bigger is there. And then I guess lastly, if you're listening to this and you're a business owner, or you're in the trades, or there's something there, like we have a ton of people that tune in that have no desire to build a barn. They just like the way we talk shop. And so here's what I'd say: don't stray away from hard conversations. Don't look away or turn a blind eye to where you're not delivering at 100%, because the only way that you're ever going to move the needle there is to focus on that one thing. You can't go over here and go to 110% where you're crushing it. This is not going to get better. You have to diagnose it, and the quicker you do it, and the better you just separate your self-worth from the ability to fix this problem and just address it head on, the better it's going to get, man. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options, or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.